And hello, I am Zach, and I play Splatoon, obviously. Now, I don't play competitive with the team at the moment, but I play a lot of solo queue or solo ranked in Splatoon 3, and I have in all three Splatoon games. Right now, it's my main form of practice to get better as a player, and because of that, I really care about how they implement a ranked experience in Splatoon 3, since it's basically my favorite game, definitely my favorite multiplayer game. I made some videos about a year ago before Splatoon 3 came out on how some changes I wanted them to do to Splatoon 3. I had some other ones I wanted to make, but I never got around to it. Now that the chill season for Splatoon 3 has come out and we have X Battles, which is the top ranked mode for Splatoon, I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Now, there's been a lot of negativity and a lot of salt going around, especially from me, on Twitter and other places, but I actually want to talk about today what they've done really good with this mode, what they've done, some substantial changes that have really improved the experience. One of them, at the end of the video, I think is the best thing about Splatoon 3 that's making me play a lot more than I did in Splatoon 2, and it does have something to do with X Battles. So, here are the reasons why I think X Rank has improved a lot in Splatoon 3. This first change is kind of like not really affecting me too much, but it's actually helped a lot of kind of top players, supposedly. So they separated the kind of Japanese or the Eastern region, which includes Australia and other Asian countries. They separated them from the rest of the world, Europe and North America, or the Americas, right? We have the Tenatech division in the West and then the Takaroka division for the East, but you're able to actually choose which one you want to be. Because Splatoon has ping-based matchmaking, which means you're basically going to get matched with people that are geographically closer to you. You still sometimes get Japanese lobbies, but not all the time. Not most of the time, certainly. So it didn't really make too much sense for there to be separate leaderboards, especially since Japan's kind of skill level is a lot higher anyways. So it kind of felt a little bit weird. It was also very hard to climb the leaderboard in NA since the powers were just lower. So you can't really beat any of the best players on your leaderboard because you don't get matched with them. So it just makes sense for them to be separated. We'll see how this change kind of goes, but it's let top players who were kind of not really getting the quality of matches they were getting from Western solo, they can pick the Takaroka division and play Japanese solo queue, and it's making them play the game more, which is a positive change. Again, I'm still in the Tenatech division because I don't feel like I'm really carrying all my games yet. So I also just kind of wanted to check it out for this first season, but I mean, I like how the option's there. We'll see if more people pick it next season. We'll see what that kind of does to it, if it kind of ruins kind of the experience the top players are having right now, but I think it's a positive change. So Splatoon 3 X Battles have a secret kind of weapon pooling system, or I kept calling it kind of like roll queue. Basically, your team will have 4 weapons on it. The enemy team will have, basically, it will pick one weapon related to each weapon from the same weapon pool. So they pool the weapons by kind of characteristics, like all the mid-range and short-range shooters are together, like Splattershot, 52, Splash, even Junior's in that group. All of like the chargers or the long-range chargers are together. The short-range rollers and brushes are together. Some of the blasters and sloshers are together, right? So it's weapons that are very similar, and they're in the same group. So if there's one weapon from a certain group on your team, the enemy team will also have a weapon from that same group. Thus, it's kind of a mirror match. Some people aren't really liking the mirror matching because it's almost like making every match into almost a ditto and it's less dynamic. But and I even made a video on what they could do to kind of balance team comps or just do their best to. But for me, I think this is just, it's better than nothing, and it's gonna help make the matches, it has helped make the matches a little bit more fair, because one team won't just have an E-leader, right? Both teams will have an E-leader. We still get games where there's kind of two slower backline weapons, but at least most of the time, the other team will also have two slower backline weapons. And again, some of the weapon grouping is not perfect. I can see them kind of changing it up, especially as new weapons get added. I could see them changing it up. Personally, I don't like how Splattershot Jr. is kind of grouped with 52 gallon Splattershot and stuff, but I'm very curious to see what changes they make to this, and I think they can make this system, this roll queue or weapon pooling system, a lot better for X battles. Still though, I think it's a good change, and it has actually improved some of the match quality. Another interesting thing that I really wanted them to do, they did it a little bit different than how I wanted them to do, but it's actually kind of perfect. The sets, the best of 5 sets, right? The first of 3, you get 3 wins first, you gain points. If you get 3 losses first, you lose points, and it's kind of perfect. The climb for X rank points is a steep hill, but one huge change that has made the climb a lot more forgiving, especially to players winning like 90% of their games, is these sets, because in Splatoon 2 you could win like 10 games in a row, gain like +1, +2 from each game, right? Each single game, because you got points after every single game. In Splatoon 3 now, if you win 9 games, you're guaranteed, 9 games in a row, you're guaranteed to get 30 points at least, because the minimum points you get is +10, alright? And if you lose 1 game in the middle of those 9 games, who cares? You're not going to lose your set. It's just 1 game, right? So it's let players establish a lot more consistency over their results. Now, some players are probably going to think that this is actually a negative change, because we have seen some XP scores a little bit inflated, but I feel like for now we'll have to see how it is. Again, X battles have only been out for a month, but if high-level players are winning all of their games and playing the game, I feel like they deserve to get points, right? And I definitely don't want it to be like kind of like Mario Kart 8's VR system, where it's really just like an experience scale. But for now, I think it's fine. The climb is still hard, especially for like where I am at with my skill level. The climb is kind of hard still. So for now, I think it's really a really good change, and it lets players, again, establish more consistency over their points. So yeah. I also really love how intense it can make like a game 5, like when you have 2 wins and 2 losses and you're at your final game and it's like win or lose, this is what's going to determine if you get points. I think it adds some intensity to it, so I've really enjoyed it. Also been very frustrated over it, but it's still a positive change. Before we get to my last point, which again is probably the biggest or the best change that they've made to Splatoon 3, a minor thing I want to mention is like kind of the quality of life and the stuff they have on the Splatnet app. You can view the top 500 leaderboard live anytime on the Splatnet app, which you could not do in Splatoon 2, which I think is really cool, because you can actually see who the top players are at the moment. In the West, it's really cool because the scene's a little bit smaller, so you know more people. And in the game, it also shows your ranked position. I believe even outside the top 2,000, it shows your position. Someone might have to confirm that. I have no idea, because in Splatoon 2, if you were in top 2,000, it showed it, but if you weren't, it did not show your position. But like for now, for me, it will show like 363rd or 783rd, right? So something like that. So I think that's just a nice quality of life stuff. The top weapon wielders that you can also see on the app is cool too. It might motivate people to pick silly weapons, but it is what it is. We can't really do anything about it. People are going to do it anyways. I still think it's pretty cool. So the biggest change that they made to X battles that honestly has made this game so much more fun to play is the fact that X battles are separate from the Anarchy battle mode, the main ranked mode, right? The fact that it's separate. So in Splatoon 2, X rank or ranked battles were the only way to play solo objective modes, right? League battles required finding people to play with, and Turf War, obviously not the appeal of most players, including me, right? Because it's just boring. It's not the objective. So this created a problem, because the X rank, or rather people playing in X rank in Splatoon 2, you would have people grinding for really high X powers using their main weapons, getting matched with the same people that might be at the same skill level, playing maybe their secondary weapon, or maybe a weapon that they only play once in a while, but they find it fun, and they're just trying to chill, right? They're just trying to chill and play solo, right? Turf War is boring. They don't have anyone to play League with, all right? So they would also be in X rank. So you would have not only whack matchmaking, like the matchmaking was awful in Splatoon 2, still kind of is, but you would have people that are trying really, really, really hard and not trying hard. It's kind of like in a sports league, you have recreational players playing with competitive players, right? It just does not work. It does not work at all, and it really made the match quality a lot worse. Now, in Splatoon 3, Anarchy Series and even Anarchy Open offer 2 modes and 2 additional map rotations that you can play if you're not trying to sweat. So now, if you are looking to chill, instead of hopping into X battles and kind of making the match quality worse for the people that are trying to grind and be competitive, you can now just play one of the 2 rotations in Series or Open. Both of them you can queue solo, and if you want to play with friends, you can do Open, okay? So yeah, if you want to just chill, you play Anarchy Battles. If X Battles have a bad rotation, right, that you don't want to play and lose your points over, instead of not playing the game or having to find somebody for League Battle, you can still play the game and again just play Anarchy Battle, right? You're not playing the game, you're actually playing the game more because there's a kind of almost a chill queue now. I have played so much Splatoon this month because I've had time to, because I've had time off work, but I don't have to only play X rank and always be grinding and always be playing my best weapon and always be trying my best. I can just chill. Like last night, I can gear grind. You have to gear grind right now because the game came out a few months ago. Instead of playing Turf War or League, which again, I don't play with a lot of people, so like the League battle point's not that good, but like still, I can just queue in. I don't have to message anybody on Discord. I just queue into Anarchy Battles. I can grind my gear out. I can play like Machine on zones or something and barely have to think. Like, it's great. It's literally so nice. Now, hypothetically as well, this should also improve the X rank battle or the X rank match quality because there should no longer be people in X battles that are messing around with a weapon, right, that they don't normally play, right? They should hypothetically only be using their best weapons. They're not. But hypothetically, there's no reason not to use your best weapons in X now, right? Like I personally am only using the weapons I know I'm practiced and good with. So hypothetically, it's improved the match quality. It's hard to tell if it has because sometimes I see some questionable weapon picks in X battles, and I'm like, do you actually use that, or do you have like 2 stars on it? Like, did you just start playing it today? Why are you bringing it into X? That's a topic for another video. But hypothetically, though, this again should really improve the match quality. And again, I have played the game so much more because I can just hop into Anarchy Series and chill. I will keep saying that is the biggest change, the most important change that they've made to Splatoon 3, especially for players at my skill level. There were a lot of people asking for kind of like a quick play or an unranked kind of objective mode queue in Splatoon 2, and we finally kind of got it, right? Series, or rather, Anarchy Battles still kind of are a ranked mode, but Open, the point losses and gains are very not volatile at all. And for me in Series, I'm honestly winning most of my matches, and because of the horrible matchmaking, which that's kind of a problem for lower skill levels, but for me though, it's still chill, and I still think, again, they're still open, right? So if you are lower skill level, there is still Anarchy Open. There's still things they can do with the matchmaking, but for me, I really love this change, how they've separated X battles from the rest of the main ranked mode. So, in conclusion, in the month of November, I was getting very bored with Splatoon 3. It was probably burnout because I've been playing very actively since it came out in September, but I was getting very bored just playing Anarchy Series, right? X rank has brought some challenge. It's brought some intensity to my matches, right? Because again, I don't play competitive. I don't really do a lot of scrims. So it's brought some intensity to my gameplay. I have to really push myself better as a player. And it's given me some motivation, given me something else to work for, right? Because I do care about my X powers and I want to get them higher. But even through its frustrating flaws, which I might talk about in another video, but everyone else has talked about them already, I really appreciate X battles in this game right now. I really do appreciate them, especially, once again, on my last point, the difference between X battles and Anarchy battles. The difference between them and having both of them is great. It's just great. It's the best thing single-handedly that they've done to Splatoon 3. I will say it over and over again. It's gave this game a great play loop for me. I can sweat in X and try my best, then chill in Anarchy, grind some gear, work on some gear builds, play Salmon every once in a while to get some gear chunks and stuff, some resources, and I'm playing the game a lot more, and that's the biggest thing, right? And again, if you take anything away from this video, I hope everyone can agree that that last change is awesome. So, thank you guys for listening to me. I hope this didn't drag on too long. But yeah, that's why these are the changes I really like in X Battles, and why I've actually kind of enjoyed Splatoon 3 this month in chill season. Alright, so thank you guys for the support. Follow me on Twitter at DreamyZach, and see y'all next time. Bye.